All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We're back. Got my guy Gyiraszin in the saddle. It's not Title, it's myself. Title's out enjoying his honeymoon out in Greece there right before the old NFL season. So no better time. Him and his wife enjoying some 2 weeks out there in Greece. I'm subbing in for Title. He's subbed in for me a bunch, so happy to do that. We're back on a Wednesday. I'm not usually out here on Wednesday with you, Gyiraszin. You're always out here on Wednesday. Wednesdays, kind of hit or miss in terms of slate size. Tonight, we do have 10 games on the docket. We do have your Tigers. See if they can figure out how to hit the damn ball out in that Cracker Jack Park. We'll see how that happens. Been very disappointing. I had a fairly promising team, even with Kikuchi's dumbass last night with the Tigers. And, man, they just underwhelmed in general overall. But we jump back in tonight. Warm weather in a couple spots, mainly out west. Cooler weather in the Midwest and in the East Coast, kind of more of the same is what we've been seeing. 10 games on the docket. Should be a pretty fun one here. Nice little Wednesday slate after the old Millie Maker last night. Not quite the contest sizes of last night, but still tons of money to be made on FanDuel and DraftKings. Our guy in the Little Neck, Jason Turner, Gang Green, Michael Ortiz, Peter, Lone Wolf, Michael Peterson. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton. Gyiraszin, I'll bring you in right away, man. Happy Wednesday. How you doing, brother?
Can't complain. Had to drive all damn day for work, so it's like my old bones. I got to stretch them out a little bit in AIDS, but nothing better sit in front of a computer and figure out the map to the treasure, so to speak, here tonight. So, yeah, just taking a peek, man. Why does pitching suck so bad here in recent times? Like, damn, man. But, yeah, looking at today's slate, kind of looks like we don't really have too much up at the top on the pitching end, that's for sure. But, yeah, I'm sure we'll figure it out. But we got all kinds of bats. You're right. Tigers can't figure it out there at that late-night hammer. I mean, it's been the Coors Field 2.0, and they're not been getting the job done over there. Riley Green got the job done now yesterday. Actually, I think I called him to hit a home run yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So, but either way, yeah, fun times. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, fun time of baseball. It's getting a little chillier in some spots. And, dude, Nate's, I mean, in like 4 more days, this shit turns to a total shit show because it's September 1st call-ups. Now these rosters are going to be deep and all these pitch hitting and the pitchers getting yanked quick. It's like, here we go. So, baseball does get a little bit, I like to say a little bit more tougher, but hey, that's what we're here for. We'll break it down, figure it all out. But yeah, then benches are going to get a little bit deeper. We'll see some young hot prospects that are going to get called up that are going to be like min price and stuff. So good time of the year. I mean, we got fantasy drafts, we got best balls going, we got all kinds of stuff rolling here. So and hey, that SHIPIT game stuff is just absolutely insane. I actually had a friend of mine call. He actually didn't know what the SHIPIT games was. He's looking into joining, and he calls me. He's like, how can you not join? I mean, dude, they're giving away 80 grand, and I told him it could actually be more, just depending on how they do in that Wildcat. So, but yeah, exciting times here at SHIPIT. But let's break down some baseball nades and get us some winners. But there you go, they're pulling up that golden SHIPIT. But man, that's just one. I mean, that is going to be the start of something in this industry to where I believe people are gonna start giving back to the sites. And just remember, your old friends at SHIPIT were innovators of all this. But I think it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I mean, no better place. SHIPIT games. I mean, this is not just a Wildcat giveaway. This is not just a $100 single entry giveaway when one of our members or one of our staff, right, wins a tournament, ships a tournament, which happens pretty frequently. But this is more than that. This is an entire community coming around and giving back, right? We forked up $50,000 plus in cash prizes. SaberSim threw another $29,000 on in prizes and packages. It's all broken down here. If you go to shipitnation.com/games, now's the time to get in now. $349 does get you access to this, get you some bonus ballots here. You cannot get additional bonus ballots unless you do kind of stick in it for the long haul. You see right here, ballots are how you have a shot to get one of these golden SHIPITs. There is going to be 50 of them at the end of the season. It's all broken down here. The top 50 will play for $20,000 top prize, cash money, plus a year of SHIPIT Nation, plus the SaberSim Ultimate Package, which is valued over $4,300. Plenty more. Not only that, you do get the SHIPIT or the SaberSim Winner Circle as well, right? So last night was the first chance to win a Rolex. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. All of it is broken down right here on this page. There's videos right here on this channel, but I mean, the best giveaway or free roll, so to speak, right, that I've ever seen the company do. It's only starting at 79,000, can only go up, will not go down. And there's a really good chance, right, with one of the share ships, right, one of the entries being in the Wildcat. Most of the time that is $250,000 up top. A portion of that prize pool will go right back into this contest. Overall, best. I mean, this is just incredible. Not much more to say on that. Let's jump in and share our partner SaberSim here and talk about this slate in terms of pitching like we always do, and then we'll talk hitting. I did the dry run here, Gyiraszin. Let me go ahead and just throw this filter on so it kind of does this. Okay, so I did the dry run here. You see right here the exposure column, 150 lineups built with like tournament stacks, 5 2s, 5 3s, 4 4s, 4 3s is only what I included. I took an aggregate of our projections, SaberSim's projections, and ownership, and ran 150 teams sorted by projected score, and you see it right there. Framber and Sonny Gray, the two pitchers at the top, going to be the chalk of all chalk. They're both going to come in 40 to 50% owned in MME stuff. In higher stakes, single entry, smaller field type contest, I can see them pushing 60, 70%. What are we going to do with those two guys at the top? You got Eric Lauer down there at 8K against those Twins. You got Lodolo, not many people are going to click on. You got Ohtani with a good K prop out there. I know there's some pitch count concerns that he has, but he has a good matchup with those strikeout-happy Reds. Nobody's going to click on Quinn Priester, who's been pitching really, really well all season, gets this matchup against the D-backs. And then you got Nolan McLean, who I think is a really, really good pivot at the top tier. I know you and I talked about him a little bit there. Fairly decent matchup against the Phillies. Not the safest matchup by any means, but there is strikeouts in that Phillies lineup. Break down this top tier, 8K and above. Hit on the chalk at the top, Valdez and Sonny Gray.
Yeah, I think it's pretty damn ugly actually today. So, I mean, the most expensive guy on the slate hasn't even pitched well in the last month. I mean, Framber's looked like shit, but you know, you look at these guys up at the top and you just look at who's got what kind of matchup. Everybody's just picking on the Rockies and the Pirates, rightfully so. I mean, Pirates did score some runs yesterday, but I mean, we know that they're just terrible. The Rockies are terrible. So, I mean, and two, you look at the projection, Nate, it's like a huge gap between those two and the third guy. I mean, it doesn't matter where you look, it's a big gap. So that's why we're obviously going to see such a huge bit of ownership go to both of those guys. But I mean, you mentioned McLean. I think that guy's interesting. I mean, he's basically into his third start here. He's 27, 28 points. Basically, his first two starts, he's looked pretty good. He's had 7 and 8 Ks. It's been getting a lot of ground balls. Hasn't let up too many. The dude's only let up 4 fly balls too in his first 2 starts. I mean, this guy's keeping it on the ground. He's not, and he's striking out. He's got 23 strikeouts, I think, or 15 strikeouts in I forgot how many in 12 innings. That's what it is. So, but man, I mean, I just think he's a great pivot here off of those two. I mean, you get him fairly cheap. He's 9K. I think, you know, it's worth it. I mean, I'd like to see a little better matchup than the Phillies, sure. But, I mean, then I'm sitting and asking myself, if the two Pennsylvania teams were switched around, it was Philadelphia and Pittsburgh was versus McLean. I think people would probably call him chalky, even though he's on his third start. So I think, you know, the matchups are kind of pushing everybody to that. But I think McLean has the strikeout upside for us. So I think today I actually like him better than Framber. I think Sonny and McLean would be the two guys I'd like. I mean, Framber's just looked like absolute dog shit here in the his last 4 starts. I mean, shit, he's got 2 negative scores on the board in his last 4 starts. So, you know, it is kind of concerning, and you're going to pay up for somebody like that and as bad as he's been pitching. But hey, maybe he needs the Rockies to get himself turned around a little bit here. So, it is baseball. Definitely could happen. But, you look down the road here. I think Shohei's kind of interesting. I think, we kept hearing before Shohei pitching last time, they're going to let him go a little bit more than 5 innings. They're going to let him get above 80 pitches. And then he got beat up a little bit out there in Colorado. And I think they yanked him out. But I think, they want to give him a little bit. They want to give him a little longer leash. I feel like I don't feel like they're so quick to pull him out as they were in his first few starts. So, I'm kind of interested in him here against Cincinnati. I mean, he's got a good K prop. I think, we were talking earlier. I mean, he's got juice on the over. So, I mean, I think, Shohei's another guy you could pivot to. I'm not really too big of a fan of Quinn Priester here against the D-backs. I don't know. It's just so hard against the D-backs, I feel like, to really have too many upside. And I just don't feel like, Priester's a good pitcher, don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel like I have the upside in that spot there. But Lauer, man, I just don't know. 24% K percentage. I guess if I was looking for some cheap pitching, he's 8K. I don't mind it. But I just think I would much rather go to like McLean and a Sonny Gray. You're only spending 9.5 and 9K for your pitching. I think you should be able to get plenty of bats. And truthfully, Nades, when you start getting down below this 8K range, man, it gets ugly real quick. It's definitely some pitchers down there. If you decide to roster them, I think you're going to have to get out the liquor bottle tonight, or the bong, or whatever else is your preference of choice. But I think pitching is pretty slim after that. It does pretty much concern me. Maybe Nelson, maybe Mize, somebody you could look at. But I just think, as we get down below here, there are a few options, but up top, Nades, I don't think there's really anything that stands out. Like I said, I think McLean, just because he's not getting the ownership, in my opinion, is probably my favorite of the three that are up on top. And then I'd probably go Sonny Gray, and then I'd probably look at Shohei, and then I'd probably put Framber. Framber just really scares me, but it doesn't seem like he's hurt or anything. But man, maybe he just caught a bad stretch here. But dude, he's looked like shit. And for me to pay 10K for him, I don't think so. If it was a different kind of slate, Nades, where I think if we had some other high-end pitchers and Framber was in that mix and he wasn't going to be owned, and in the, in the mind where he's at right now in his last month, I think I'd be willing to take a shot on it. But if you're telling me he's going to be chalk, forget it, man. That's a hell of a good reason for me to fade that. Like, no way. I'll fade it. If that beats me, I don't really care. It is what it is, but I feel like I made a good choice there. And I think Framber for me is kind of an easier fade.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what you said. I'll start with my favorite pitcher. It's going to be Nolan McLean. I just don't think people are clicking him. I think he's right there in realm with Sonny Gray and Valdez, who are going to be 4 to 6 times more owned than what McLean is. I'll take my chances on him. His K prop looks pretty solid. It's 5.5 juice to the under, 4.5 heavy juice to the over, which is right there in line with, Sonny Gray, 6.5 juice to the under. Framber's really the only one with a K prop on the slate that is, obviously it's the biggest on the slate. It's juice to the over. I just have concern. I look at this Rockies matchup against left-handed pitching. The Rockies, if they do one thing good, it's hit lefties good. You look over the last month, they're 6th in OPS against left-handed pitching. They have a 17% strikeout rate over that span. And you look at Framber over the last month, I get it, right? His home road splits, all of that come into account. But it doesn't seem like people are really worried or looking at what he's been doing. You look at the last 30 days, he's got a 18.5% strikeout rate. I get it. It's 23% against righties, but that's league average for these MLB arms. Yeah, he's a turbo guy, ground baller, right? Keeps it on the ground. But I'll take my chances and fade him when he's going to be 70 to 80% owned in single entry. I filtered a high stakes single entry here. Sabres got him right at 63%, right in that realm. So it seems right. For me, it's McLean, and then Ohtani, and then Sonny Gray, and then Eric Lauer. Those are the 4 guys I'm playing above 8K. I'm fading Framber. I'm not playing him. I'm out on Priester. I'm out on Lodolo. I think Eric Lauer is a really, really good tournament option. Nobody's going to click him as well. If you go Nolan McLean and Eric Lauer, you can do whatever you want on the slate. And hey, we just saw Hunter Brown get tattooed a little bit last night. in this exact same matchup. I get it. It's a different matchup here, but Rockies are built to hit left-handed pitching much more or much better, at least than righties overall. If there's one thing they do at least decent, it is hit left-handed pitching there. But hey, if you want to play Framber, go ahead. Everybody else is going to be on Framber too. I'm looking to get a little bit different on a slate where I don't think pitching is that good overall. So that's why people are just condensing on Framber. I'll take my chances and go to Sonny Gray over Framber if picking one. But McLean and Ohtani are really the two guys that I like. Ohtani's K-prop, 5.5, juice to the over heavily. Vegas thinks to believe Ohtani should be good enough. I think if we can get 5-6 innings in this Reds matchup, I think he can do just fine there. So give me Ohtani, Sonny Gray, McLean, my three favorites above 8K, and then Eric Lauer as a tournament pivot. 4.5 K prop, heavy juice to the over there, which is right in line with the rest of the guys on this slate. Personally, that's kind of where I want to live. I don't really want to mess with any of these cheaper guys, but we do have to come down here a little bit and at least talk about some of these guys. Your boy Casey Mize on the mound, Reed Nelson on the mound. I see some talks about Berger in the chats for Kansas City here at 7,200. Not many people are going to click that name just because anyone you play down here is going to be low owned because of the way the roster construction sets up. Texas bats are super cheap, so it allows you to play Framber and Sonny Gray. And it seems too easy. Most of the time, it is probably too easy to do it that way. However, that's an option, and that's why everybody's clicking the top two. So anybody else, realistically, outside of maybe an Ohtani, is going to be low owned on this slate. So anybody you see down here, I mean, you got Colin Ray down there, you got Casey Mize, Nelson, Berger. It's really gross for me, but I'll toss it over to you. What do you see down here below 8K?
Yeah, first of all, I'll bring up Casey Mize. Who in the right mind gets 10 Ks one start and 0 Ks the next start? Like, literally, the dude went 5 2/3 innings and didn't get any damn Ks. Like, that's like, this is mind-boggling to me. Like, 10 Ks to 0 Ks, like, what the hell is happening here? But Mize, I mean, that just goes to show you. I mean, he could either be really good or he's just really bad. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't like the matchup here. I don't like the ballpark. I mean, it's obviously like a Coors Field, so I think that's kind of concerning. So, I mean, Mize is just kind of scary. I guess if I was really deep in MMEing, I may include him in there, but I wouldn't go too heavy on somebody like Mize. But I think that Berger is interesting here in the matchup that he's got. I mean, he's going to get what, 6? How many lefties here? He's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lefties. I mean, he's been pretty good against lefties. He's got a 26.5% K rate. His walks are pretty high, which is concerning. So if he can keep the ball in the strike zone here, we could be looking at a pretty decent potential start here. I mean, he does get the ball up in the air a little bit, doesn't keep it on the ground, but I think it's a pretty decent matchup here for Berger here. I mean, especially at the price. I mean, we got a matchup here with the White Sox. I think for 7,200, I think I could stomach that if you lose. But I mean, to me, I'd just rather find the salary and go up to like Eric Lauer. I mean, it's only 800. So I think Berger would be the pivot if you wanted to get off of that. But I don't think there's enough ownership up there to really worry about it. And then I'll be honest, Nades, as you start rolling down the line of pitchers here, I don't really think there's anything I really want. I'm not playing Luis Morales against the Tigers. Colin Ray is, I mean, to me, it's just more of like maybe like a safer type play. Like, I just don't feel like he has any upside. I mean, Jack Koinkowitz, or however you say that. I mean, he just has not been good in recent times. Savali just doesn't have any really K rate that, any upside, I feel like. So to me, I mean, if you're going to live down here, I think you're just kind of looking for a safer option, not to get blown up and you're hoping for 12 or 15 points or something like that. But I mean, I do think between like McLean and Sonny Gray and Ohtani and Lauer, I think you're going to have to, you're probably going to have to get mid 40s or 40 from your pitchers tonight. I think there are some guys that are not high upside guys, but I think are mid to level upside guys that have better floors than they do higher ceilings. So I think, like Ohtani would fit that mold. Like we know he ain't going 7 innings. So, he's kind of limited, but Yeah, Nades, I think really for me, I mean, Gray, McLean, Lodolo, Otani, and probably Berger would be the only guys I probably could stomach playing in the whole slate.
Yeah, for me, it kind of looks like something like this. Nelson is probably my favorite guy down here just because I know he has the pitch count. I get it. It's a matchup against Milwaukee there. But they do have some strikeouts in that lineup overall. Berger, I think he's fine. I just think he's the consensus guy that everybody clicks on if they do click on it. And I just hate picking. I don't know what it is. I hate picking on this White Sox team right now. They've been really, really good last 30 days. Sub 20% K rate against right-handed pitching. ISO all looks really good in general. So for me, I'd probably rather just play Nelson. But realistically, I want to play two of my pitchers above 8K. I want to play Lauer, McLean, Otani, Gray. You can throw Framber if you want to in that range. I'd rather play probably Quinn Priester too up in that top tier than navigate down here. But if you were MMEing, I'd look at something like this. These 7 in my pool. If you want to include Colin Ray for a cheaper arm, I think you could. I just don't think you really need to go there overall too much. So these are kind of the 7 guys that I'm looking at. My rankings go McLean number 1, Sonny Gray 2. I'll go Otani 3, Lauer 4, and then I'll put Nelson 5 overall for myself. G, any additional takes on the pitchers before we jump over and sharecase our premium tools over here?
I want to address one here, Nick Lodolo. I mean, the dude's coming off the IL with the blister concern, man. That is very, very scary. Blisters do not heal in 15 days, like in 2 weeks, man. They could very easily. They deal with that shit all year. And if he had to sit out for 2 weeks because of a blister, it's been bad for a minute. Sure, he's had some decent starts here in recent times, but I think it's too risky for me. I think they could limit his innings. I mean, last time out, he was only able to I think he went 1.2 innings because the blister was so bad they had to yank him out. So that's really scary to me. A blister injury on a pitcher's throwing hand is not something that I generally like to fool with. So, I mean, it is risky. If he didn't have that, Lodolo would probably be one of my favorite pitchers today because the Dodgers have been ass here lately. But, man, I think it's just really risky. So just know that there's that extra risk. If you do want to play Lodolo, I should have mentioned him a little bit earlier about that, but man, it's just pretty scary though. But if you want to get after it, go ahead. But man, as soon as it gets cold and it cracks or something happens, dude, he's done. He's gonna be out. It's scary.
Yeah, all it takes is one thing. I would say I would like him if it didn't have that concern. I don't know how good or how healthy it is, how it looks, but I mean his numbers look really, really good, right? 45% K rate over the last month. I get it. It's only 27 plate appearances, but the Dodgers also over the last 30 days against lefties, 26% K rate. They've been terrible. I just think that's too much risk to take on the slate. You could do it, but I think I'm getting different enough just not playing Framber alone that I don't really need to mess with these other guys. So it's not for me.
Prices reflects that too, Nades. He's 8,200. He's generally been a 9K pitcher. So I feel like the pitch count may be a little bit lower than a normal. So I would just lay caution to it. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's jump over and share one of our best premium tools that we have to offer over here. We do have this available for all sports. I get it, right? A lot of you work 9 to 5s. You have jobs, you have kids, you have families. We created tools to make your life simpler, right? You don't have time to listen to all the shows and read through all content and a bunch of words and that. You can just pull up the stone like here on baseball that we do share, but we do have it available for NFL, which is coming right around. It'll have all of our rankings for our quarterbacks, our stack rankings on it, obviously all the projections and all of the metrics on it for the season stats. Obviously baseball home road splits are also taken into account in this one. First game we have the Twins and the Blue Jays. I have interest in Eric Lauer. This Twins team just is bad, very bad against lefties in general. Tons of strikeouts there. I don't think anybody plays Eric Lauer. I think he's a really good tournament option. However, I'm back on the Blue Jays ship here tonight. They're going to be pretty owned, but they're one of my favorite stacks overall, probably behind the Tigers again here tonight. Simeon Woods Richardson is not very good at all, in my opinion. And then you look at that Minnesota bullpen, and they've been gassed. They used 4 bullpen arms yesterday. They used 2 on Monday. I think this is a gauntlet lineup here to deal with. You saw George Springer hit 2 last night. Dalton Varsho's back in there. I think he's one of the best plays on the slate at his price point. I'll put the Blue Jays right there up with the Tigers for my favorite stack on the slate. What do you see here?
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually like the Blue Jays a little bit too. I mean, Simon Woods Richardson, another guy coming back on the IL, but I guess he had some kind of stomach issue, so it wasn't something like a blister on his finger. I think he got hit in the nuts or something, or I don't know what the deal was, because I see in some of the Twins, they're like, oh, we don't want to mention what happened to him. So he probably had his nuts jammed up his gut or something. Who knows? But either way, Nate, I mean, Woods Richardson didn't good. You mentioned that bullpen is not very good either. I mean, Varsho's been hitting the shit out of the ball, so I like some Varsho here. Springer hit 2 homers. You mentioned yesterday. He's got a 404 WOBA on the season against right-handed pitching, so he's pretty good. I don't expect Richardson to be missing too many bats. Varsho's the only guy and Schneider, really the only 2 guys that strike out here in this Toronto lineup. He doesn't have much strikeout ability anyway. He's just barely below the MLB average. But, yeah, I mean, adding in the bullpen, as you mentioned, they are taxed up a little bit here. I mean, you look at all the games, too. I mean, that Tiger game's sitting at 10.5, the over-under. Every other game is sitting at 8 or 8.5, but this Minnesota-Toronto game, and then you can bounce over there to that LA-Texas game, and every other game's either 7.5 or 8. So you can see as the month gets a little deeper into this August into September here, I mean, we had all over-unders and 9s and 10s, and now we're getting back to the 8s, 7.5s, only a couple games. 3 games out of 10 are from 9 and above. I mean, we haven't seen that in a little bit here, and you'd think we'd have some better pitching than we got. He's like, damn, that pitching sucks. But, yeah, I mean, to me, I think the Blue Jays are in a pretty good spot. I wouldn't, the Tigers, I'd put them in the same bucket as the Tigers. I'm just not sure which one I like the most yet.
Yeah, I agree with you there. No Twins, real interest for me. If you wanted to pick off Luke Keishel, power righty, Buxton, Jeffers, those would be the guys I'd look at there. Wallner's been on fire, but I'm not playing Wallner lefty there. I'd rather side with Eric Lauer in that one. Blue Jays got a really good bullpen behind him as well. Next game on the slate, McLean, one of our favorite pitchers, my favorite pitcher on the slate. Seems like you're in line there. No Phillies interest for me, even with the high-powered offense that they can have. Schwarber, Harper, Marsh. You could play some of these lefties if you wanted to. It's not for me. The Mets have been absolutely red hot, and I'll get Taijuan Walker, and it doesn't seem like anybody's clicking these Mets. I mean, I'll play the Mets gladly here tonight. I'm right back on the whale. The Mets, one of the best offenses. They've beat up Sanchez. They beat up Luzardo the last 2 nights. Now they face a much worse pitcher in Taijuan Walker here, who doesn't really get swing and misses, doesn't strike anybody out. Mets are going to have runners on base. I get the park is not great, but hey, tell that to the Mets. They didn't care when they've been scoring tons of runs over the last couple of days. Naturally, today's probably the day that they get shut out here, because I'm not going to be playing Taijuan Walker when I played the Phillies pitchers the last 2 days, Sanchez and Lodolo. What do you see here in the Mets? Going to be low owned. I think they're really, really good stack on this slate tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Walker's a little reverse splitsy. I mean, he gets up. I mean, his K percentage is 15.7% to the right, 18.4 to the left. I mean, he's pretty much a mid-ground ball pitcher, 40 in the mid 40%. Fly balls not really high, low 20%. But his hard hit rate, 50.3% to the right side. His barrel percentage is 9.7% to the right side. I mean, this guy, he's getting hit pretty hard on the right side. And then you jump over and you look at some of these fly ball rates, which we're going to want here with some of these Mets. I mean, these top 6 hitters are all, I mean, the lowest one is Juan Soto, or Nimmo, actually 25, and then Soto 26. But, I mean, you got Alonso at over 30%, Vientos over 30%, McNeil is even over 30%. So, while the Mets do have some pretty good lefties that you could add into that stack, I think guys like, I mean, Pete Alonso would be one of my favorite one-offs in the whole slate, I think. I mean, that guy has definitely potential to hit 2 homers tonight. Vientos has been real hot. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to get the hottest team in baseball over the last month, basically very low owned and against a shitty pitcher, I think you ought to take the shot. I think, I mean, 3 teams even. I think the Mets would be a team to stack up. I love playing teams that are hot and hitting well, and especially if people aren't going to be on them. And against a Taijuan Walker, I think it all lines up.
Yeah, give me the Mets as my favorite single entry stack on the entire slate. Nobody's going to click them. The Mets are gonna, the Tigers are gonna be more owned. The A's are probably also gonna be more owned, and for sure the Blue Jays are gonna be more owned. Give me the Mets. Starling Marte's been really good. I like him a ton. Vientos, I like him a ton. Alonso, you got a 3-5-7 mini stack right there. Pick 2 other guys if you want. You got a cheap catcher in Hayden Sanger there. Give me these Mets. I'll take my chances. And then you look at the Phillies bullpen. They used 5 bullpen arms yesterday. 12 pitches, 15, 18, 18, 27. Obviously, when Sanchez and Luzardo get tagged out of that game early, they got to rely on their bullpen, right? 1 inning here, 1 inning there. They're taxed. They just used 5 arms yesterday. Give me the Mets here. We could see a position player pitch at the end of this game in the 8th inning or so. And usually that's pretty tasty when you got 5 Mets in the old socket, waiting for an old fireball or a little 50-mile-an-hour fastball coming down the pipe, right? So I like the Mets a ton. One of my favorite stacks, if not my favorite stack, considering ownership on the entire slate. Next game on the slate, Brewers, D-backs. Brewers got the job done, at least as mini stacks for sure yesterday. Nobody's going to play them again here. You got Nelson. I think Nelson's a serviceable arm in general. I just don't love this game from stacks, from offenses. This game was 9-8 yesterday. Really wasn't anywhere near the winner. I don't know. It's a weird spot. Yelich, Vaughn, Collins, those are kind of the guys I would look at there. More fillers. Not a 5-man stack spot here for me personally, but what do you see here?
Yeah, Nelson does give up a little bit more to the left side. Terang, Yelich, Frelick, I think Collins would be somebody I'd be maybe interested in playing, maybe more of a mini. I just, for me, the Brewers just seem like they get the job done. They score, 6-7 runs every damn night. They're just never at the top of any tournaments. They're not really banging out home runs left and right like a Yankee team or somebody when they're scoring 6-7 runs. The Brewers are stealing bags. They're the definition of small ball. Like, they are one of the best small ball teams in all of baseball. Period. They are really good. They put an immense amount of pressure on you. So I think on a slate where, it's bigger, I think for me, I don't want to call the Brewers the Royals, but they're just one of the teams to where they don't seem to hit enough homers for me. You look at the Brewers fly ball rates, they're just all not that high. And then, as you mentioned, I am not going to be fooling with the D-backs here today. I'll leave that one alone. But yeah, I think Milwaukee's interesting. I'd put them up there and, maybe 5th or 6th on the slate tonight, but I just don't have them up there, as one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. They're kind of middle for me. I think getting over the field's not going to take much. So if you are MME and 20 maxing, I think having 15-20% Brewer stacks is somewhere in that category. I think it is definitely fine. I don't mind that for sure, because they always have upside. Bryce Terang is one of the best plays on the slate, in my opinion. 4,400. The dude is just smashing. He smashes righties. Nelson struggles against lefties. Terang, you look at the last month, this dude leads the league in the NL in home runs. He's got a 434 ISO. He's got tons of stolen base upside. And it's the second base position. So for me, Terang would be the favorite play there. Pair him with Yelich, Collins, Blake Perkins. I like some of those lefty, those mid-tier lefties like a Collins, like a Frelick, like a Terang, like a Perkins. I think are really interesting overall. Next game on the slate, Royals, White Sox, Savali on the hill, Bergert on the mound. I think Bergert gets played a little bit here just because I've heard a bunch of people talk about him. The whole chat was on him as kind of the quote-unquote sneakier option in that mid-tier for pitching. I'll take some lefties against him. Guys like Kyle Teal, Talkman. It sucks that my guy Montgomery isn't in here, so that definitely helps the case for the Bergert play. But what do you see in this one, White Sox and the Royals? Weather in this one, some slight wind blowing out to right field around 10 miles an hour, temperatures in the low 70s, so not super warm, not super cold, some slight wind help. Should play pretty hitter-friendly in general.
Yeah. Bergert has been giving up quite a few fly balls to the left side. He's at 44% so far this season, 32% to the right side. So, the lefties like Talkman, Teal, as you mentioned. I don't know. It's kind of hard to click Benintendi's name. But still, I think, this is one of these games like where I just feel like if I'm going to play it, I'm just going to game stack it like I did. I actually did it yesterday. Started off like shit. Actually did a little bit better at the end. Didn't get me above the cash line, but just two crappy teams. I think Burger could get beat up a little bit. The White Sox have been faring pretty well, but as far as the Royals go, I do think the righties are kind of interesting in this one here against Mr. Savali. Savali has not been keeping the ball on the ground all that much. His fly ball percentage is in the mid 30%, but his barrel percentage, he's been getting barreled up by righties. Almost 11% this year. It's almost 14% in the last 30 days. So guys like Bobby Witt, Miguel Garcia, Perez, it'd be probably some of the guys I'd look at. I think I'd more mini the Royals, but I think they're in play, but I wouldn't 5-man them, but I think I'd play bits and pieces of it possibly. Bobby Witt's always in play. We know that. But I think, adding in Perez or maybe Miguel Garcia might not be bad move, but yeah, I think you fill out some infield spots with those boys too. Shortstop, third base, and a catcher. So
you missed the best two plays on the Royals, Vinny P and Yastrzemski. 1-3 mini stack there. If you want a 2K catcher from the left side, Michael Massey, you just know he's either going to get you 14 or he's going to get you 0 because he's all boomer bust. He'll hit you an occasional home run, but 2K, you don't have to worry about it. Play him, Yastrzemski, Vinny P. You got a little 3-man stack there. I think it's really interesting.
Well, Vinny P has been hitting. I'll give him that.
Yastrzemski and Vinny P. the last month against right-handed pitching, 328 ISO for Yastrzemski, Vinny P. 432 ISO, strikeout rates below 14%. I'll take my chances on that when they're putting the ball in the play and they're hitting for a ton of power against Aaron Savali, who struggles with lefties with walks, struggles with fly balls to lefties. Give me some. Give me some of those Royals there for sure. The lefties are mainly where I want to go. Yastrzemski, Vinny P, 3,700, 4,400, really nice there. Talkman, Teal, I like them. Outside of that, Benintendi, I think, is decent too at 3,200. So more mini stack game for me. I talk about it all the time. The White Sox fit mini stacks really well because of their position eligibility. They fit a lot of those positions, right? The second base, the third base, the shortstops of the world. And their outfielders, if you need one, they're usually pretty cheap, like a Talkman, right? So, or like a Michael Taylor, where you don't have 3 really good or 4 really good outfielders from the same team, right? Where you're kind of picking and choosing. They're the good guys that you usually want to play for the White Sox are those infielders that fill positions that are usually left open on your stacks. Next game on the slate, Cardinals and the Pirates. Bubba Chandler on the mound for the Pirates here. Pirates been the team you needed the last couple of days. Well, at least some of the guys have been doing their thing. Sonny Gray going to be the second most popular pitcher on the slate behind Framber. I'm still out on these Pirates. Sonny Gray, my second favorite pitcher on the slate behind McLean. Cardinals, fairly interesting here. Not a good bullpen behind Chandler. I don't think Chandler's very good either. I just don't love this ballpark much. I think Nolan Gorman is a nice play at third base. I think Alec Burleson is a nice play. Lars Nootbaar. Outside of that, not really interested. So more mini stack category, if anything, for the Cardinals for me.
Yeah, we're sitting at a game total 7.5. Don't expect much. These two offenses really aren't very good. If you want to look at anybody who's hitting the ball, you mentioned Burleson. He's been hitting the ball really well. And at the top of that lineup for the Pirates, Jared Turillo, shortstop there, has been he's actually the last 2 weeks is 4th in all of OPS the last 2 weeks. So, he's been actually hitting the ball a little bit too. He's behind like Lindor, Springer, Nick Kurtz. He's up there with some of the big boys. So might be a decent little one-off if you wanted to get some leverage off Sonny Gray. But I don't really particularly love any of it.
Yeah, I agree. You can always play Henry Davis too. He's actually a good catcher. Has a ton of power. He was a huge prospect coming in, just doesn't play every day. So DraftKings never prices him up at all. Hit a bomb last night. You could always ride the hot hand with a $2,200 catcher that has power. At the end of the day, it doesn't break the bank. You don't really need much. It's leverage against Sonny Gray, which all the things make sense for tournaments there. Let's take us to the chalk game of the slate. The Angels were the mega chalk yesterday. They actually came in as the highest owned stack on the board, even ahead of the Tigers. All the Tigers, for the most part, outside of Riley Green, were like sub 10% owned, which was insane. And that all the Angels were all way over. And I talked about it on the dry run, Gyiraszin. That's exactly what I said. I said projections are slamming the Angels because it allows you to spend up for Hunter Brown. And who was the other guy up there? Oh, Dylan Cease. Right, it allowed you to play Dylan Cease. It allowed you to play Hunter Brown. That's flip-flopped here tonight. All the ownership's going right on to the Texas side because guess what? It allows you to play Framber Valdez. It allows you to play Sonny Gray. It's too easy. The Rangers are going to score 8. Both those pitchers are going to get 25 plus, and you're going to print money with everybody else holding hands. How are you going to play the Rangers if you play them? They're going to be super, super popular here. Probably the highest owned stack on the board due to their salaries and their ability to afford a Framber, afford a guy at the top like a Sonny Gray, and pair those guys together and still spend up as your mini stacks. What do you see here?
I mean, Jack just has not been a very good pitcher. Excuse me. I mean, he's at, 14% strikeouts both sides of the plate. Yeah, I got a frog in my throat. But his barrel percentage of lefties is up at 10.3% on the season. That is definitely alarming. His fly ball rates aren't all that high. He does keep the ball on the ground a little bit. But, I mean, if you look over at some of these Ranger bats, I mean, they got some fly balls in that bat over there. They got Langford 28, Corey Seager 30, Peterson 29, Dolis Garcia 36, Tellez 32.5. So, I mean, they got some guys that definitely get up the ball up in the air. I mean, I don't mind the Rangers. I don't have them in my top 2 or 3, but I put them pretty close to the, next in line there. I was checking here, which actually just wanted to see how many lefties are in that bullpen for, I see 2, maybe 3 lefties in that bullpen for the Angels. So I think guys like Rowdy Tellez, I'm just looking for pinch hit risk opportunities. I think there could be some pinch hit issues there just because they do have a few lefties in that bullpen, but maybe they get to Jack beforehand. But other than that, I think the Rangers in a pretty good spot. I just don't have them up in my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think this offense is playing pretty good over the last month. I mean, Corey Seager, Jock Jams are playing really good over the last month. Tellez is playing really good. Langford's been decent. If I play them, I'm not playing them with Framber. I'll say that. I'll just take my chances and pivot with like a McLean and then maybe like an Eric Lauer or something like that, and then play Texas. Be a little bit different that way because everybody's going to play Texas with Framber. I already talked about not liking Framber on the slate, so that's one stand. That would make me different, I guess, playing Texas. My favorite bat would be Rowdy Tellez if he's in there and Corey Seager. But those are going to be 2 of the more popular bats. I'm not 5-man stacking Texas here. I'll take my chances. Single entry 3-max stuff. I like the Mets a lot more. I think the Brewers are a better stack. I think the Blue Jays are a better stack. I like the Tigers, which we're going to talk about. I like that Royals White Sox game for pieces at similar price points as these Texas bats. I'll just take my chances. I get it. Kochanowicz has not been good. He is a ground ball guy. Gets hit super, super hard, but everybody sees the same numbers there and the salaries. So I'm just trying to be a little bit different there without getting crazy off the board. It's not like I'm going to run in 5 stack up the Pirates. That's not something I'm doing. I'm just looking to get a little bit different in terms of what projections and ownership is going to set up to be, what optimizers. It was the same case last night with the Angels. You needed Patrick Corbin, Cy Corbin, mowed him down. Shout out to Richie in the chat. He was screaming from the rooftops. I didn't get on Corbin myself, but I see a similar case here tonight with the Rangers. Probably not the same.
Have safety meeting to do that, Nades.
Right, exactly. Next game on the slate, Astros and the Rockies here. Framber, I mean, not much more to say. 6.5K prop, juice to the over here. I just worry. I like the Rockies as some leverage here, and it's not I don't think it's crazy by any means. They do have some still good power bats. Doyle, Goodman, Beck, Bernabel, Tovar. I mean, that middle, those 4 guys right there in that middle, are 5 guys, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think is a really, really interesting stack here. I get it. The Astros bullpen has been good. They've been slipping over the last month a little bit, though. Framber, he's been, I mean, like I said, the last month for Framber has just not been good. The Rockies are 6th best team in OPS against left-handed pitching over the last month. Nobody's going to play them. Probably 5-man stacks, probably a little absurd, but 2-man stack here, I think is very interesting. Goodman, Beck, really, really interesting plays overall. I think this is a pretty interesting spot for some mini stacks on the Rocky side to leverage Framber. Astros side, Jesus Sanchez, red hot. Dolander's not any good. I think you can definitely play the Astros. Not one of my favorite stacks. I probably put them in that Brewers category, that 5-6 range, somewhere in that tier. But the Rockies as 2-man stacks, I think, or one-offs are really, really intriguing to me against Framber here.
Yeah, you'll definitely get some leverage off that. I think Brenton Doyle's the guy that I'd like the most, especially if they got him bumped up higher up in the lineup. I see a projected lineup with him in the 2-hole. So
yeah, Doyle's confirmed. Doyle's hitting second. Goodman's hitting third. Beck fourth. Bernabel, Tovar. That 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stack, and with Tovar in the 6 is, man, don't sleep on that. I'm telling you, don't sleep on that.
I mean, he's going to see all righties. All righties as you see there too. So, I mean, Framber hasn't been very good, as we mentioned. I mean, dude gave up 14 earned runs in his last 16 and a half innings, but he only did give up 1 homer. I mean, so it's not like he was getting pounded out of the ballpark. He's been walking a lot of guys here his last few starts. The last 2 out of 3 starts, he's had 4 walks. So that's definitely something that's concerning. But yeah, I mean, I think this is a spot where you're going to get a heavily owned pitcher that I think I feel better about a Rockies team against a chalkier pitcher today than I did in the past, like against like a Skubal or somebody like that. I think if you wanted to take a shot and maybe, stack up some Rockies, I think today's a day to do it more so than against, a higher end pitcher. So I don't mind it, especially since he's been struggling. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good spot for the Rockies. Now, as far as the Astros go, I mean, you could look at them. I mean, with Alvarez and Sanchez, I think that's interesting. I mean, Dolander's been getting smacked around a little bit by lefties here in recent times. So his barreled up rate against lefties is almost at 14%, 20% in the last 30 days. He's been getting smacked pretty hard. His ISO against lefties the last 30 days is 300, 432 WOBA. So fly ball percentage is high. So Dolander's been getting beat up by lefties. So, Jordan coming back, Sanchez, I think I'd kind of start there, but we know that this Astro lineup is pretty right-handed heavy. I just generally don't like playing at Astros against righties. Dollander isn't that bad. He's doable against righties. I mean, he's not that bad. So it's just he gets beat up by lefties. They only got 2 in this Astro lineup. So I don't really love the Astro stack here. I mean, they're a minus 320 or something too in the betting line. They're obviously heavy favorites here, but I don't love it. I just worry. I just don't like them against righties. So I'm just not going to kind of go against what I normally have been doing. I'm not going to jam it or force it, even though the Rockies have been really bad. But yeah, I think, Sanchez and Alvarez, you want to go maybe a mini, I'd include them. Maybe you could pick off, maybe like a Correa if you wanted, maybe a Walker or somebody else. But I just don't love it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Sanchez would be my favorite bat from the Houston side. Jordan's going to be one of the most popular bats on the slate. His price is still too cheap at $5K, especially against a guy that does struggle with lefties. I do want to read something out here for you. Gyiraszin, if I threw names out of the equation here and just read you these stats over the last month, 198 plate appearances. They got a 212 ISO, a 381 WOBA, a K rate of 15.5%. And then I told you it was the Rockies. If I told you that was anybody else or didn't tell you who that was, and then told you the opposing pitcher was going to be 60 to 70% owned in single entry 3-max type contest, 50% in MME, would you be overweight on that team? That's all you have to kind of ask yourself. I trust the numbers here. I'm going to take a chance. I think Goodman's one of the best plays on the entire slate. Nobody's going to click that name. Direct leverage, 4,700. He's cheap. Add in Jordan back. You got a really nice 2-man stack there. Give me some of these Rockies over the Astros side of the hitters here for DFS purposes. Next game on the slate, Reds and the Dodgers. Lodolo on the mound. He's coming off the IL there with that blister injury. Ohtani, I think it's going to be kind of a modified bullpen game here. Ohtani, I think, was capped at 5 innings. I think they're capping him at somewhere around there. Reds, tons of strikeouts there. I think Ohtani's fine. Even in his limited sample, his stuff looks really good. All of his underlying pitch metrics look really great. The Reds strike out a ton. I think Ohtani's definitely playable. Vegas tends to agree. 5.5K prop, juice to the over here. Dodgers, though, against Lodolo. Man, if Lodolo does not have it and that blister does act up, like you said, or something happens there, and the Dodgers get a bunch of this bullpen who's not very good, it's above average hitting weather here in LA. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, 9-10 mile an hour winds blowing straight out to center field. Dodgers, outside of Ohtani, going to be pretty low owned. It does suck, right? You can't you can't play Ohtani as a hitter on DraftKings for whatever reason. They still haven't figured that out. Are you in on the Dodgers stacks here tonight against Lodolo and the Reds bullpen?
Well, FanDuel jumped on the damn DK train too, and now have him as a pitcher, and you can't use him a hitter here. How hard is it? Ohtani hitter, Ohtani pitcher, 2 profiles. It's not hard. God, I mean, give me a job for one damn week at one of these sites, and that's one of the first things I'd change. The other one would have been how the showdown slates are done at FanDuel, and they finally fixed that. So I'll give them little kudos for that one. But either way, man, the Dodgers just been ass cheeks here in recent times. Lodolo does give up some fly balls, especially the right side. He's at almost 29%. I mean, the only guys I think I'd really want to play is Teoscar and Will Smith, maybe Pajes are the 2 guys I'd maybe look at. I mean, hey, I think even Kiki, do you love me? I think he's going to be in there a little bit tonight too. But, I mean, I don't mind the Dodgers. I just got them way down. They haven't been hitting for shit. And to take Ohtani out of that stack, now he's out on both sides, just is too big of a piece for me. So, I don't love it. I'd really like the Odolo. I'm really scared of that. I've been burned a few times by the blister shit in the past, because you read, oh, it ain't a bad injury. Yeah, I mean, it ain't like he's going to be out for months. But, dude, you get a nasty blister on your hand, man. I mean, that shit don't go away, especially when you're a pitcher. It's not like he's not pitching with it. So, I think that's just a little bit of a concern. I just don't love it. So I just going to leave it alone to be honest. And then I'm not really interested in picking on Shohei from the Mets side either.
Yeah, I like what you said. Tio and Pajes are my 2 favorite bats for the Dodgers. Probably not stacking the Dodgers here. I did want to mention this. It is going to be, it looks like Ashby's going to start, and then it's going to be Fetty Wap coming in after him. It's going to be more of a bullpen game. Still doesn't have an interest for me in the D-backs. I hate bullpen games. Brewers bullpen's been really solid outside the beginning of the season when they got lit up in the Bronx. So for me, still no D-backs. Obviously, you don't play Quinn Priester now. He's going to start on Saturday. So good call out there. Last 2 games on the slate, we could kind of lump these games together. I mean, you got Wiz and Hunt here, who's not been really good. Cubs are starting to hit a little bit here. The ballpark does suck in general. I think the Cubs are fairly interesting, a little bit as a tournament stack, not up there. I think you can't play everybody. I just don't love this game much from a DFS perspective. Colin Ray's nothing special, but again, I just don't love it. Giants bullpen's good enough. Wiz and Hunt, I don't think he's very good in general. It's just they're going to have to jump on him pretty drastically early for him to really hit a ceiling here. I think Suzuki, Carson Kelly are really good plays. Outside of that, I don't really love it. What do you see here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather play the Cubbies against a righty anyway. So, and we don't really like to park here, obviously in San Francisco. I'm just gonna leave this one alone. I'm not gonna fool with it. Like I said, if Cubbies against a righty, that's not bad, but I just don't want to force it.
All right, that takes us to the last game on the slate here. It's your Tigers. Tigers got the job done. They were on the winner last night. You need Riley Green and Colt Keith. I had them, but I had Kikuchi, who didn't figure out how to pitch yesterday. Been the story of the week so far. Nailed the stacks. Missed on one of the pitchers. Thanks to the Phillies guys. They've been kicking me in the nuts. And then Kikuchi did it last night. So 3 nights in a row. Hopefully I dodge that bullet tonight. I'm right back in on the Tigers here. I'm going to continue to say it. They're going to be underowned than what they should be because of their price points and because everybody wants to play Sonny Gray and Framber Valdez at the top. I'm still going to find a way to play the Tigers. The Tigers, everyone said they were the chalk yesterday. They came in sub 10%. The dry run usually is spot on. Every time I run the dry run and talk about it, it is severely underutilized, I think, still in DFS. Dry run projections, the way I do it and break it down for members in the Discord. It told the story of the slate yesterday. I think it stays true here. Tigers are not showing up because of their price points, because everybody wants to play Framber and Sonny Gray at the top. You cannot 5-stack the Tigers comfortably playing those guys. So you have to sacrifice that. I like it because I'm under on Framber here. Give me the Tigers. I'm right back on the well. Riley Green, Carpenter, Colt Keith, McKinstry, Perez. I mean, the entire lineup, I like them all. You got double-digit wind blowing out in this game. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Best ballpark on the slate for hitting. One of the best ballparks all year, if not the best one. Right there contending with Coors Field. Talk to me. What do you like here? Detroit and Athletics.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the best spot of the 3-game series the Tigers have had. Morales has some serious walk issues. I mean, the guy hit 12% to lefty, 13% to righties. I mean, his barrel percentage is really high to righties too, almost at 16% in his 63 plate appearances so far here. So he's been getting hit pretty hard by righties, even though he is a righty. But, I mean, I still like the lefties here, but I'm just not going to discount the righties like Torres, Torkelson at the top of that lineup. So I think the only guy I think I would probably X off the list here would be Trey Sweeney. I just don't think he's got it for me to really play him. But I don't mind playing Dingler. McKinstry fills out a lot of different holes. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty good stack here tonight. I'd have him right up there with the Toronto stack. Definitely the top 2 stacks. And you look at the other side with Mize. I mean, Mize has kind of been hit or miss in his last, as we talked. He had 10 strikeouts and he went down to 0 strikeouts. I mean, his ground balls have been up a little higher to the right side than the left side. His fly ball percentage has been a little higher. It's almost like 10% different. Especially in the last 30 days, he's up at almost 31% fly balls to 19.5% to the righty. So, dude, a guy like Nick Kurtz sitting with his 505 wOBAs against righties, that's looking pretty tasty to throw in your home run parlay today if you're looking to juice one of those up here today. So I don't mind Kurtz. I don't mind Soderstrom. I don't mind Rooker, Langeliers. I think all these guys are pretty decent. And I wouldn't doubt it if Lawrence Butler don't have a good game after his 10-second run down to first base last night. Like, dude, what are you doing? Is this freaking Pee-wee? Like, dude, that was terrible. I mean, come on. But either way, for me, I think both sides of this game are interesting. I'd rather have the Tigers side. Tigers bullpen's actually been fairly decent here in recent times. They were shit for a little while there, but they've come back around, adding a couple pieces there at the trade deadline. So, I think this one's interesting. I do prefer the Tigers. I don't mind the righties either against the righty there. But I mean, highest game total on a slate. We got the hammer. We just either going to have to decide how much of that piece of that game we want. But I think Tigers are obviously one of the best spots.
Yeah, I like the Tigers a ton. And don't sleep on the righties. Don't sleep on the fly ball guys. Morales is a fly ball guy to both sides of the plate. Colt Keith, McKinstry, Riley Green, Torkelson, Glaber, Carpenter, Trey Sweeney are your fly ball guy. Perez has more ground balls than fly balls. So really, it's Carpenter, Torres, Torkelson, Riley Green, McKinstry, Colt Keith are your main fly ball hitters over the last month for the Tigers. Same thing on the A side. Casey Mize, fly ball guy, gets hit hard from both sides of the plate, gives up more power to the left side. So guys like Blade, Butler, Kurtz, Soderstrom, don't sleep on them. And then Wilson, Rooker, and Langeliers has been really, really good in terms of fly balls and power over the last month as well. So definitely a game stack viable candidate. Question in the chat, Mets or the Athletics? I side with the Mets because I think more people go to the A's side of this as you see projected ownership. The A's actually came in more popular last night than the Tigers did. I think that's the case here tonight again because it's more affordable and easier to stack them up. Again, when people are playing the Framber Valdez and Sonny Gray up at the 9K and 10K range, you run out of salary pretty quickly unless you're one of those Onyx members, right? And you can get the old phone call right to your old rep and get that extra unlimited salary cap like you get sometimes over on that FanDuel streets, Gyiraszin, to help you ship all the money there. But no, I think it's overall good slates. Summarizing it for me, my top 2 pitchers on this slate, or top 3 pitchers, are going to be Nolan McLean, Eric Lauer, Sonny Gray. Ohtani would be the 4th one. Those are kind of the guys I'm going in on. Stacks for me, it's the Tigers, it's the Blue Jays, and then it's the Mets. And then I think the Rockies mini stacks like the Goodman, Doyle are really interesting for me. Gyiraszin, go ahead and summarize it, give a home run call, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I agree with you on the pitching. I like McLean. I do like Sonny Gray. I think those would be my favorite 2 on the slate. Like I said, I think I'm going to leave Framber alone. And then I'd probably look at Maybe Bergert. As I said, I only had like 5 guys I think I'd be willing to play today. Lauer. And I'm kind of on the fence with Lodolo. I think that's kind of risky. I wish I knew somebody in the training staff to tell me, hey, this or that or, whatever else. But I'm just concerned about that blister. I think that it's kind of scary for me. But favorite stacks, I mean, I got the Jays and Tigers up at the top. And then I probably have a bunch with the A's, Mets. And then I'd probably even be willing to throw the Rangers in there too as one of the top stacks. So as far as home runs go today, I am going to stick with I'm going to stick in the same game that I did yesterday. You know what? I'm going to call 2 guys that actually hit home runs yesterday go back to back again today. So I'm going Springer and Riley Green are my 2 guys that I think hit home runs today, both of them.
You got Springer and Riley Green. I'm going to the Mets. I'm going to Pete Alonso. I like him a ton. And then I'll give another one. I'm going Hunter Goodman against the chalk. Framber Valdez. I like Hunter Goodman a lot. I think he's a really, really, really good tournament option. Nobody's going to click that name. 4,700 is fine at the catcher position. People are going to go Shaylane Lears up in that range. They're going to go Will Smith in that range. $100 cheaper than Will Smith. Give me Hunter Goodman against the chalk. Framber Valdez. That's going to do it. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. If you're not a member yet, I don't know what you're doing. SHIPIT games. $80,000. We're almost to $80,000 in cash and prizes right now. $20,000 to first place cash prize. This is a free roll. There is no entry fee required to get in here. Only thing you have to do is to be a SHIPIT Nation subscriber. You have a chance to win a golden SHIPIT ticket, which is a random draw then for one of the 50 spots to play it down for $20,000 of cold hard cash plus a bunch of other prizes as you see it there. ShipItNation.com/games. Early bird package right now, $349 gets you access to all of that and more. You see it here up on the screen. Pay less for content. Play less or play more in DFS contest. For Gyiraszin, I'm Nades. Good luck tonight in those contests. Hope to see those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. We're out of here. Peace.